Come on. Come on. I believe in you. And we are live! Hi guys, sorry, YouTube broke there for a second. How's everybody doing? Oh, we got a couple people here. Dillier, good to see you, glad to have you. Bean, good to see you, glad to have you. Reminder, no spoilers, but spoilers mean anything from Endwalker on any major reveal from any expansion. If you want it spoiled for you, then don't spoil it for others. Ray, good to see you, glad to have you. V, good to see you, glad to have you. Bling, good to see you, glad to have you. Click the like button. Thank you, Bling. Willow, good to see you, glad to have you. We're going to have disinfectant thing now. Des, good to see you, glad to have you. Sprinkling salt on the like button. Oh, the war has already begun. Cameron, good to see you, glad to have you. Hot sauce is indeed my weakness. You're assumed I'm not immune to rat poison. I spent the last few years building an immunity to iocane powder. Are you secretly a Lalafell? Oh, because of the poisoning their tea. What did they hear but a tall Lalafell? Okay, well, we got quite a few people here. We're going to be doing Eureka Orthos. I'll be right back. I'm having my thing beep on me already. Is my audio good? Ugh. Audio's good? Cool. Jade, good to see you, glad to have you. So, we're going to be doing Eureka Orthos. We're going to have some groups for people who are doing it the first time, and then we'll also have groups for people who are trying to run higher. Okay, let me get this all figured out now. Okay, cool. How many we got? Okay, so we got decent amount. Could anyone and everyone who has not run to floor 30 come step on me? Step on me, please. Okay, Will. Cool. Jay's on their way. Sweet. Okay, so Will, stay here. Could anyone who needs to go above, who wants to go above level 30 today, step on me? Okay, cool. So I'll make Umino, Des, and me will be a party for doing that. Will, I'm gonna send you with Bean and Roasted. And then that leaves Val and Willow to, okay, so that's one slot in there. So we've got Val and Winnow. But we also, do we just have one person show up who also just disappeared? Or did they just run here to blow up on us? We got one more coming. We got Jade, too. Yeah, so... Okay, cool. So we'll have Willow team up with Jade and... Well, Willow and Jade will team up. Because I know, Willow, you said you potentially want to go above. And then Val, you'll be with Roasted, Bean, and Will. Yeah, we're supposed to be running again? Then perfect. That ends up working. Well, that was the plan anyways. For the people who are in my party, what's your light level at? And I'm also going to go ahead and hop into voice. Into stream voice. So I'm going to move you to in with me. And then V, I'll pull you in. Cool. And then we also have Laffy. Okay, Laffy, I think you're gonna be with Willow and Jade then. 60-60, okay, so you're roughly around where I'm at.
Sprout question, how do you check your Aether Pool level?
You can't check outside of it, as far as I know. As far as I know, the only way to go is to go to Eureka Orthos and then check it. Mal, if you want to join a team, you can join Willow, Jade, and Laffy. And if anyone would like to join us at any point, you're more than welcome to. We'll try to find a group for you. Okay, awesome, Light. You're on your way too? Cool. we'll wait for you real quick. I know Mal and Laffy, I don't know if you're willing to go above level 30, but I know that's the plan. That seems to be what Willow and Jade are interested in. Des, what you finished floor 30, right?
Yeah, I have.
Have you just done that once though?
Yes. So I'm imagining mine's slow.
Okay, yeah, we may need to take someone else then because we're gonna try to be going into the 60s and higher.
Okay.
Jade and Willow, what is your light? I'll let them give them a second to answer. Also, don't forget to have food on you and all the other stuff. 30 to 40. Okay, what about in Willow? No, because V, I know you've gone at least a couple times. It's more just like if anyone's only gone once. Like at 30 to 40, it's fine. But if you've only gone once, you're maybe in like the 20s, and that that could be a problem. Armor is higher. Yeah, no, I think it'll be fine as long as we can try to get in the 60s and 70s. It'll be fine. Okay. Well, also, Des, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna swap you out with Jade. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Okay. And then Althea will get you in. Okay, and then Althea, do we have any party for you? I don't know. Okay, we don't currently have. I think we've got 12, 13 people in total. And Rafi and Rowan are their way. They just posted looking for group. Okay, cool. We'll have Althea, Laffy, and Rowan do a group then. Bean, can I get you to inform them on that?
Also, I'm gonna hop
Jade,
down to general if you want to bring Jade in.
Yep. Boom. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll go to Mordona and we'll get that going. Are we doing tank, DPS, I would honestly even consider bringing a DPS instead of tank, but like, just because like they don't hit that hard, but also I guess we don't have 99 Aether Pool. For those of you who don't know, you can go to Burnell and Mordona and he'll teleport you right there to Eureka Orthos. I have also got the guide created by the community up over here. I'm gonna go ahead and put the doc for it in the chat, so that way if anyone wants to check that, the lovely document. Let me check who wrote it because I'm already forgetting. Maggie's, M-A-Y-G-I, level 1 to 100 handbook, and I believe if I'm not mistaken, they've also done other ones in the past. Oh, hey, we lucked out. We're all in the same instance. Okay, I'm going to do a ready check. Yes, make sure to get at least one set of potions from the node, the recovery potions. I should get an extra set. I was saving up to get the framers, but I'll just get that later. A kind little random Lalafell in Ul'dah just handed me a bunch of minions earlier. It was very strange, but also very appreciative of it. Orthos potion. Is this a comp? We don't need another healer and we don't need another tank, so I honestly, yeah, DPS is what we want. And you being a machinist means we got Peloton, baby.
So you want me on DPS then?
No. I mean, because I'm saying we already have one healer.
Oh.
Because you're the healer. And the thing is that because we don't have like all 99 Aether Pool, we want to like play it a little safe. So having a healer is better. And we're gonna start from 21 because that was weird. Oh, Jade's got something. Hunter, good to see you. Glad to have you. Oh, yeah, you have to make sure you have empty slots. Okay, V's are cleared. And let's try now. There we go. So for this floor, for those of you who don't remember, the two couple dangerous ones are the dragons. Oh, we probably should have started from 1 in order to, like, save up our pomanders. It's fine. We'll see how far we get. I mean, honestly, we're going to be building light anyways, so... Well, but the problem is that I don't, if we start from floor 1, some of us aren't going to get extra stats. Unless you mean the buffs?
No, I meant Aether Pool, and I know that some of you won't get it, but it would help, you know, those of us that would, as well.
Sure, I mean, we can go ahead and reset and start from 1. You know, let's go ahead and do that. Good run, guys. We got really far in.
Did it. We were so good. I'll clear mine again real quick. Oh, never mind.
My bad. I was confirming it right as it happened. Let me turn these down. Cool. Especially early on, I'm going to be pulling pretty big because there's not really any things we need to worry about too much. Are we allowed beyond 30 if we start here? Yes, yeah. It only stops you if you haven't completed the story before. Because you have to start at level 1 in order to do a complete run. Forgot to say in chat, sorry everyone. Hey, Val. Good to see you, glad to have you. No worries. And everyone's trying to do the content right now, so there will be some focusing.
We've got Intuition Palm.
Sweet. We'll go ahead and toss that. I'm going to throw Affluence so we can try to build. Hey, wow, that was lucky. And then I'm basically going to... We'll save Strength and Defend and Steal and stuff unless we're at max. And I mean most things unless we're at max. Oh, I missed that. Okay. And to answer your question, yes, you can go past that, as far as I know, at least. You just if you go solo and you don't start from floor 1, you won't get the reward. I think, as far as I know, that's the only caveat. There may be another. I keep having a weird, like, frame stutter.
Jade hasn't turned into an owl yet. I'm disappointed.
Just give them time. They'll get there.
Oh.
I don't have... I'm silent, so I can't... Unless I get suited, I can't pull anything.
I know. I'm dead now.
I was just trying to explain why they pulled the bomb off you. Yeah, we're getting a lot of affluence today.
And now it wasn't any problem with threat. It was just it did its, you know, execution explosion on us, and apparently it's huge.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of treat it not that different than the little electro guy. Okay, Jade's got you.
Thank you.
On my way, Jade.
Oh, geez, there's spawns in here, yeah.
Quick, learn to RP walk just like we had to in Baja. And if anyone doesn't know that sordid affair, we learned very quickly about the Dalahans that are in Baja during the night.
It was funny because it's like, I was like, I should have known this from Final Fantasy XI.
I'm gonna pop strength.
Strength should always go on the tips.
Not necessarily, because Aether Pool.
Are you implying that Jade's Aether Pool is not already maxed?
According to what Jade said.
I was just making a joke. I do that here.
I will say closer to you. There. Thank you.
Just if you hit one of those traps, just stop and let me cleanse you first.
I'm just because the thing is I'm plowing for it, I'm assuming that you were running with me, but
Well, I'm casting Asuna, then you keep running.
If we stop our pulls in the hallways,
I would be safer.
yeah, in the hallways to avoid traps.
yes.
Oh, ow. We should 100% do that on the later level.
I mean, I got hit by the trap in the hallway though, the silencing trap.
They can't spawn in hallways. Unless they changed it for this dungeon, but traps don't spawn in hallways.
Unless it's just like on the very edge or something.
Yeah, I think it's probably just some, you know, server delay kind of thing.
This never.
Oh? Oh my god! Alright. Fucking bomb.
I got you.
Nicely timed level.
Big burst. I have an uncanny ability to step on those.
You really do. Amazing. Almost as good as Jade's ability to find the owl traps.
So which one of you guys is responsible for the explosions? Is that you, Amino? I know how you love to use them on mobs.
Oh, that's only when I'm tanking.
Someone when you
I'm
use
gonna pop
strength.
strength. I'm just a feeble wee caster. I can't take care of myself. That's what V's here for.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to just stay way far back.
Well, but you're playing Summoner. You have Physic. You can, like, that'll sustain you indefinitely, right?
And Carby Shield.
You have Aegis. Yeah, okay, they do have some, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
But also Physic is...
I'm not entirely helpless, but I'm certainly not going to do any fun
Big burst.
bomb strats. Oopsie.
I also do... I meant Physic really as a joke because the level to which that's a vestigial ability at this point
Yeah,
is...
no, absolutely. It does less than, like, the passive regen.
I love that Clemency is, like, twice as... Yeah, well over twice as powerful. It's 2.5 times as powerful. Plus it restores my own health. Of course you have, Jade. Of course you have. Big burst.
Oh, that's the actual name of the ability. I thought you were just yelling. Anyway.
No, I was trying to give some warning since we seem to be like for like.
I know. I just thought you were just saying that there's big bird coming, not that it was the literal name of the ability.
Big burst. I'm just gonna start like saying big bird and shit.
Oh, no.
Careful the behemoth. It's got meteor. Ow. One of these days I really want to sit down with the whole music list of each deep dungeon and like try to parse out why certain songs were chosen. Some of them seem obvious, but other ones I'm just... Like, I'm trying to get, like, why, like, Ishgard and Alamegan themes are in here, and it's, like, because of war and sins of the past? One at a time? Yep, can do. What do we know? I always pull one at a time and in a reasonable order and in no way push things to their limit. Gotta go fast! How we looking? Looking pretty good. Everyone here knows the 3 bosses pretty well. Do I need to remind anyone of them?
Nope.
Quick, someone get the boot. Get the boot. Hey. Jesus Christ! How? Apparently I know where all my roll luck went. Apparently it went into fucking inverting itself for running over traps of a specific kind.
Yep.
You just have quite a strong presence.
I draw the traps to me if you actually look at them. Like, if you actually could turn them visible, they're actually moving and they're just ever inching towards me. Oh, wait, right, we don't have them. So, through methods I can't discuss, one thing I found out is that actually, when you go into a cairn, right, of, it's like techie mines and stuff. Okay, let's finish off this mofo first.
Whose mode did this behemoth foe? Never mind.
I thought it was funny. The what I was gonna say is that when you go into a cairn, not just like the cairn to the next level, it's not actually loading in a new floor. It's all the beggar post fee. It's basically just the same set of rooms, but these areas that we're crossing over, like here, let's go into like this room here, like pause in this room right here. It to the north and to the east of us, those are actually, there are other rooms that are right there and they're loaded. They just load in these walls to block them off instead. And even the later stages architecture is actually already loaded in.
Pretty smart.
So if you like looked at it from above, it's basically like a base, almost like a, I don't know, like a 10 by 10 grid or something like that.
I love optimizations like that. It's so great. I'm a nerd.
Make coder brain go burr.
Somebody want to use a strength pick? Okay.
Yeah, I do it. Thank you.
I guess like this Scala music makes sense if you think about like the vibe, right? Like there's ancient civilization with water running through it right now, like water features. So Scala music, I mean, like makes sense. Today you learn. I'm sorry, Jade. We'll get to, you'll have your challenges soon enough. Are you getting Aether Pool from that, V?
Yes.
Okay. So definitely worth it then. I am gonna check extra rooms even early on, just in case then for silver.
Yeah, I mean, we can if you want to check extra. I think we'd probably be fine just, you know, only picking the ones we get, but that's...
Thank you for taking that enfeeblement for me. You know.
See, feeble little meek little summoner. I go 2 steps in front of you.
Reminds me of you have 2 types of Umino within you, Umino and Umi-yes.
Ooh, maybe?
How were you the only one that leveled? What?
Because I didn't die earlier, so I've been getting full XP, and I think some people have been dead during at least a couple kills.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
There's nothing particularly dangerous, so I'm gonna go for it.
Oh, jeez.
Other than a silence.
I'm gonna
You
wait.
hit the trap. Got two people.
Leroy Jenkins may be long gone, but his spirit lives within me.
Oh, there's a case.
Fuck it. Jesus, they just keep spawning. Not I'm like trying to think, cause like there's a lot of things I've been able to call the past couple patches about like things that they're doing. Like Eureka Orthos, I'm like, it's gonna be full of certain Allegan text and void send, right? It makes me wonder, like, at what points in history before I was playing, were there a lot of things that you could have easily called if you knew the lore?
Oh, it's a mimic.
Eureka, you could have, if you knew the story, you could have guessed what Eureka's true identity was. Not Eureka Orthos, but Eureka. Oh, I'm sorry, I stole it from you, Jade. Hoot hoot, I'm going in.
We have no take.
I guess the nature of the first... Well, I mean, that's like, it just, you had to be paying attention to the MSQ, right? It's not like there's any... Because like 3.4 and stuff. I guess the fact that like primals aren't what you think they are, but again, that's pretty MSQ related. It's not like anything you need to know, any like side lore. Y'all got any pitches or thoughts? I guess actually part of the plot of Shadowbringers, if you pay attention to the raids, you know, you can figure out what kind of part of what's going on there. And like dungeons like twinning. I picked the wrong one. Oh, I accidentally used safety instead of sight.
Wait, there was a... Oh, there's a silver copper. We didn't explore that route?
No, because I just used a sight, so now all the rooms got opened up.
On my map, it looks explored. I can't tell, though, maybe.
Because we use a sight coffer, or a Promander.
Yeah, but doesn't...
When you use a sight,
it still shows it kind of out if you haven't actually been in there, right?
You're cutting out.
Sorry, I'm trying to say that even when you use sight, it will reveal the whole map, but the rooms you haven't been in will be like slightly grayed out. And on my map, it looks like it's not grayed out, so I don't know.
Is that the case?
I'm pretty sure, but somebody can correct me if I'm wrong.
Because on mine, it looks the same.
I think it's the room we're currently in has a brighter background, and the rest have a darker background.
Okay.
Yeah. Is anybody else having the server spike issues? V, because I know like you mentioned that earlier, like when we were doing dungeons.
I did have some earlier. It's fine now, but...
That's weird.
It's weird.
No, because like right now, my game just keeps freezing and then like coming back.
Opening silver.
Thank you. Yeah, no, let's hope that doesn't end up showing up at a weird point at any point. Glad it happened on the early floors at least. No, I know, but like you and Rowan had mentioned that you had random spikes, so. This is the Alligans trying to hack us. For anyone watching, has the stream been okay? Has it cut out or anything? Or is it just the game? Because on my end it says the stream's been fine. Okay, if everyone knows this, I'm gonna go ahead and pull him then.
The whole reason I wanted to start was to just kill this boss.
Because he's adorable?
He's adorable!
Oh, destroy it! Destroy it! Deploy mines! Deploy mines. Oh my god, the melons make little faces. I didn't notice that the emotes they were making were faces. No mercy, explode, explode.
I mean, they're little turnip heads? Is that what you mean?
No. Just look at the mines the next time they talk.
Oh.
The mines, see, it's a circle, triangle, circle. That's like a Japanese emoticon face.
Oh, that, yeah.
Enemies detected. Attack, attack. No mercy, explode, explode.
Can I bio break really fast?
Yeah, sure.
Right back.
Take that time. I'll check my food, check my hyper potions. Umino, I see you're at red, so your sword, I'm assuming. Oh, now great. Now we can't check in the middle of it, but. Oh, is Umino taking this opportunity to do their long-awaited solo album for us? This wonderful, will you perform for us? Will you sing us the song of your people? Produce content. Did I typo something? I am. No performance. I am so lost. Does someone want to explain what's going on?
I am back, so I have no idea what's going on.
Umino said, I'll take this opportunity to, in quotes, produce content. And Jay just screaming, no performance mode. And I'm...
I have no idea.
Okay, at least I'm not alone. That was the wrong button. Subscribe! Good to see you, glad to have you. I was gonna do the Curb Your Enthusiasm song, but no performance. Oh, you can't do the performance mode. Okay. I don't know if Umino is back or...
I mean, is his implication that he's also going bio break and he's producing content?
That's what I'm trying to fathom. How you doing, Scrub? Are your bathroom breaks your... Where did you get that background, Jade?
That comic one?
The like comic one? Is it just like a
not deep.
natural one you got?
I have it, so I'm curious if it wasn't unlocked because I don't know what I did. Also, I do ask that we fight in hallways at this point, please.
Yep, I'm trying. Yep, trying to remember to. And another viewing trap. And no trap.
only gonna start casting my bubbles in hallways.
And 2 and 1. Just in time to die.
I swear, you have like a special ability for XCOG to never go off on you. It's like you're like, no, only at 30% or something.
I have no answer. Based on what we've gotten so far, I'm wondering if like the first 10 floors just don't have storm or anything like that. I wonder if the pool
Maybe lower-
doesn't open up until later.
Like maybe.
Yeah, maybe. So the fact that we're seeing 3, 3, and 3 constantly.
Whoa, this is a really weird positioning for the
Yeah! I didn't realize it could be so close to the hallway.
I remember there was like a known bug or whatever that they're gonna hotfix within the next patch. That dealt with like this placement of chests. So I wonder if that also applies. to
Yes.
different things.
I guess so. I wonder if it's the same operating mechanism. It probably has different rules, though. Although they end up in the same place pretty reasonably. Maybe not. Of course it was a fucking trap. It died just so it could give us that lovely present. Off of our exit point, you cigarette-based bastard.
He's having a smoke break.
Well, it's just like, I just always laughed at like, they like at one point localized them as Marlboro.
Did they?
Yeah. It's been Morble, it's been Marlboro, it's been Marlboro. Like, it's been a bunch of different things. Hey, Dimple.
Thank you.
I've been known to tank from time to time. Strength if someone wants to use it.
I think the Morble whatever is there on me.
It's gonna eat ya. Honestly, now that I think about it, Morbles are kind of like cordyceps. Like the way that their spores basically float across the winds, infect things, and then like, well, and then there's also the rotting goo, which literally just is cordyceps.
Yeah. Ugh, rotting cuckoo is gross.
That. So when you guys got to the end of Eureka Orthos for the first time, were you like, oh, this is cool? Were you like, oh, okay, what the heck's that? Or like, when you get to the final boss.
You're asking us or stream? Stream.
I'm asking you guys.
Oh.
And pretty much everyone in the stream right now is people running Eureka Orthos. The stream's completely quiet because like I mean that's what the point is. The point is to run this, so like ever.
No, I love the final boss, but you know I was there with you, so I think you know my reaction.
It makes sense. I was like, okay, well, can we discuss it now?
Yeah, I mean we've gone through it, and the people are gonna see it regardless.
Okay, but yes. Sure.
And they won't see the cutscene, the opening cutscene, because we've already seen it. So.
Like, turn cutscenes back on.
Kimar, good to see you. Glad to have you.
I was a little surprised. I was like, oh, are we in Dalamud? with the way 21 to 30 looks, it was kind of going that direction. So I would usually was surprised, like, oh, this looks like Dalamud. It's a big sphere. I remember finding Koza Bahamut. I feel like
21.
I thought it might have been
21 to 30 is
Bahamut.
Sorry, go ahead.
Like a clone of Bahamut or something. So
yeah,
I was like, oh, this is Tiamat. I wonder if they're gonna call it Tiamat or if it's just asset reuse. It was like,
oh my god.
We do have witching.
If the boss's name was Asset Re.
That's a dreaded mob.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna use lethargy.
I am frozen.
Oh, don't do that.
Okay. I'm gonna use witching. Oh, you already did.
Yeah,
okay, great.
I already got it.
Hit it really hard.
Come on. 10 more seconds. We got this.
You might want to pop. You already have defense, but okay, it's good.
We got it. We got it.
Ooh.
Hopefully we'll get some more witching and storm soon.
Well, we have a pin.
Somebody
so
can pop string.
I'll do it. Oh no, I already. Never mind. You can pop string.
Elio probably should over me.
But yeah, if you watch like the trailer for 6.3, it had that shot of like Dalamud and stuff, so I had seen that before. The question was just within it. But what's interesting about that is that, you know, it being a clone of Tiamat makes sense. They had Tiamat trapped. They were able to like run experiments and test on her. But in theory, they should have been able to without Bahamut as well, right? Because he was, when they slew him in Mericidia, they probably should have had access to his corpse. So it's interesting that they never did. Or I guess maybe they did. We'll see that, you know, Bahamut clone at some point. I mean, it makes sense if you think about how they cloned a body for, or they created a body for Diablos, with the Diablos armament, you know?
Maybe dead body makes dead clone? I don't know. I mean, they...
Maybe. Well, but no, because they created a body for Xande, right?
Or...
Use fortune. Let me know you got it.
At this point, it doesn't.
we're gonna leave
Oh.
anyway.
Yeah.
Good call.
Sorry, I was getting
Wasn't-
confused with the
Were you, I know you had said in a previous stream talking about like the architecture goes from like early to late Allegan. Is it like if you've been beyond floor 30, do you know if it's like sequential, like the further down we go it gets newer or older?
So there, I haven't seen all the floors in their looks, but there definitely is like, as far as I remember seeing it, you don't see any more of this after you get further down. You start to see like crystal and other things, as well as it gets back to like late Allegan architecture. But as far as I know, this the only time you see early Allegan architecture is the first like 20 floors.
Maybe,
It's weird.
maybe their choice to team up rather than Bahamut has something to do with like the order that they were captured or the timing of it.
Sorry guys, my
Are you freezing in?
yeah.
That sucks.
And I'm back. It's like just stops. Everything just straight stops for like about 10 seconds, and then all of a sudden comes back. I've never had it happen in this game, and and I've only ever had my own internet like freeze and break. Okay, yeah, happening again.
Is it worth you trying to restart? I know in the middle of the stream.
No, because it's not the internet.
No.
It's not. Because if it was, it would be affecting everything else, and it's not.
Yeah.
Lower down looks like POTD. That's weird, because I'm pretty sure when I looked down, it wasn't like POTD. I mean, it was somewhat similar crystals, but there was different colors and stuff. It looked very different to POTD to me. But is it just the straight model reuse? I mean, I haven't been to floors 150 to 200 on POTD, and I haven't been done anything above 100 in quite a while, so that may be part of it.
If I recall correctly, floors 150 to 200 all look the same. It's like kind of like white, misty.
Oh, I thought okay, so the white begins. Okay. Couldn't remember when they start adding that in.
So far, I haven't seen any room appearance.
Elio,
Doga. I'm gonna use Doga because Une is actually Doga's more powerful than Une. So I looked up the difference between them. Doga basically will stun them and does damage. Une heals. And does damage, and then Onion Knights just go fucking balls to the wall and just destroy enemies.
That's why they seem rarer then.
Yeah.
Do we want to pop affluence?
Yep, you read my mind. Different colors, because I know it's crystalline, which makes sense, right? Just like with the outside architecture, not just outside architecture of the Crystal Tower, but also like the Crystal Tower is slightly organic. You have to be a little ways in, B, I think.
No, but you popped the thing for the coffer. Did we loot it already? The Cursed Hoard?
Intuition? There's not a Pomander. No, affluence. Affluence is for the next floor.
Oh, was that message old then? Because I saw a message you sent a treasure coffer somewhere nearby.
Well, we don't have it up. We don't have the Pomander. You can get it. We don't have the Pomander up, so even if there was, we got it.
Okay.
Like, you could just open up, if you press C and just look at what Pomanders are active. If it's not up, it was either acquired or...
Sure.
My face. Now I'm trying to figure out how Siren Song C's musical theme is. Like, what the hell's that supposed to mean?
I think it means you're reading way too much into it.
I would never do that, V. I've never taken a magnifying glass to every small little facet of everything that they've done in this game. For no reason whatsoever. Raven, good to see, glad to have you. All good. If you want to join a group, I think there are some groups that are not full currently running. Yeah, came over. We already talked about that in the chat. Thanks, though. Jade explained it. Or Umino explained it, my bad.
I explained it in party chat, so. What was the Siren Song 3? Do we know the origin of the ghosties in Siren Song C?
Umino,
Yeah, we do.
Do you want to pop strength, Umino?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Basically, Thavner built a prison on Siren Song, and then things started going to shit, and they abandoned it, but the ghosts of it kind of still permeate it. If you give me one quick second. I mean, you can go ahead and stay. Oh. Here, I'll let you guys kill that real quick. East of the Drown and southwest of Thavner, there lies an expanse of water which legends hold the haunt of sirens, the scourge of sailors. While indeed named for the seductive fiends, some explorers have suggested that the sea's reputation is but a fishwive's tale, intended to warn people away from its actual danger, a nigh ever-present blanket of thick fog. However, this theory does not account for the unsettling reports of vessels lurching violently despite calm conditions. Whatever the truth may be, one thing was never in dispute: countless ships have vanished within these waters. Approximately a century ago, out of concern for the impact upon trade, the magistrate of Razat Han ordered the construction of a lighthouse in Siren Song Sea. A suitable isle was found, and a host of convicts were brought over to build not only a lighthouse, but also a prison wherein they would be held afterwards. Yet though the work was completed without an incident, every single ship set to deliver supplies and relieve the guard was never reached its destination. Under these circumstances, operations could not be sustained, and within a matter of years, the isle was abandoned. And then the boss, Lorelei. En route to the far east, the Misery was shaken by a mysterious force set adrift upon the current. The vessel was eventually deposited on an abandoned prison isle, the lighthouse rising ominously in the distance. Within the tower, a number of members of the voyage encountered and vanquished a peculiar fiend believed to have originated the legend of the Siren Song Seas. While information is limited, the creature is conjectured to be a type of undead born of the souls of deceased sirens. Daniel, good to see you, glad to have you. And sorry you're feeling sick, Raven. I hope you feel better. Jade's excited to be an owl yet again. Currently we are on level floor 18. But yeah, it's interesting. Usually we get a little bit more about like the bosses and stuff when it comes to the Siren Song, when it comes to dungeons. But with Siren Song C, it's like pretty enigmatic for the most part, other than a little bit of Thavnerian lore. But it also, I guess, makes sense that if you just think that the Lorelei is like an Ashkin of Siren, it makes sense. Yeah, those can be pretty rough if you're not ready for it, Raven. I assume that V's actually right, and it's not just that I'm reading too much into it, it's literally just, hey, this sets the tone, right? Because it's supposed to be kind of like melancholic and foreboding.
So you can pop steel.
Booyah. Which one is this? This is strength. Someone. No.
Hallway, please.
Yep. I was trying to see if we could pull into the next one. Oh, I didn't realize you guys had pulled the prior one. My bad. Okay, cool. We got 2 storms. Nice. Honestly, I'm just gonna go check the hallway ahead, and then if there's no silver in there, we can just run to the. It is almost. I want to say it is funny to me how much like the traps are 90% of the danger in Heaven on High, or in Deep Dungeons in general. Because it's like, for the most part, everything else is pretty much you just need to know enemies and what they do. And also then it's about conserving your ammunition, your resources. Oh hey, we're at the boss. Everyone knows to avoid the dragons. Let's do it. Intruders detected, initializing defensive protocols. Consciousness injection successful. Commencing attack protocol. I don't know why, but I'm not great at this one. Sustain enemy presence detected. Threat level increased. Attack power elevated. Nice! Good job, Raven. How'd it go? Yeah, I definitely agree, Daniel. Tank is the funnest role in the game. Everyone's on what they want to be on? And a 1 and a 2 and squiddly biddly boo. I also do love the idea of one of you guys just being on Bard, playing alone in this room for all eternity, waiting for people to pass in. Like, I mean, not the idea of you being alone for eternity. That brings me sorrow. Wait, did you not enter as machinist? No, wait, you were making jokes about being a caster the whole time. Of course you did. I'm pulling them back. Oh, forgot tank stance. Ortho Demolisher, focus him down. Are the wyverns particularly bad?
They do a room-wide big AoE that gives everyone a vuln up. So they're a nuisance, essentially.
Okay.
Or maybe I'm thinking of the ones on later floors that share a similar model. Those ones might just give you poison.
Right. I just don't remember them. I remember having a big issue with them.
Yeah, I just have a big vendetta against these specifically. For no reason.
I'm sure you'll improve though, right? First step, Raven, towards getting better is just do it. And oh, see, I did it again, guys. Nope, no silver. You know, you gotta learn. You know, so congratulations for doing it. Now you just gotta keep on at it, and you'll improve bit by bit. Yeah, Daniel is definitely right. But what is it? Fortune. I'm told it favors the bold. I would say stop worrying about if you think you did terrible and focus on whether or not, like, you felt like it was a starting place, right? And especially if you got comms, that means that as a new tank, you did good enough that everybody thought, hey, this person's like is clearly trying and, you know, did a decent enough job. So I would definitely take it easy on yourself. Someone will use your strength.
Yes. I misunderstood. Ortho Demolisher behind us.
Oh, now went ahead. It is health based, so as long as we don't, yeah, as long as we don't get it too low, it won't obliterate itself right away. What I would do is just focus on, don't like beat yourself up for it, but instead focus on like, okay, why did that happen last time? You know, if you died and you think it's on you, was it cause mitigation? Was gear something that could have helped? Was it, you know, were you playing a job like Dark Knight where you need to make sure that you're being very proactive about your mitigation? Or, you know, or that you have very limited tools for regaining health, you know? If you're playing Paladin, were you making sure to like use your, you know, bulwark and everything else? Oh, you were muted for a while. No worries, G. I feel like this is the first time in a while that they've brought back an enemy that has an attack that is a don't look at the enemy, but also you have to be standing in the attack for it to affect you. Like you have to be standing in his like cone.
Yeah, because remember I was asking you about that when we were running. I was like, is that?
I was wrong. I checked it.
Not.
Interesting. Because they had like moved away from that since ARR, so I was just like shocked. Yeah, so I would just say, like, you know, gear is always a good first place to check, because it's a very easy solve, and then just go from there, right? We want Doga more than we want Une. I'm sorry, Une. Did your best for all of less than 60 seconds.
Do they not follow us through floors?
I was gonna say, I think they do come through floors. I think? No.
Suppose not. Bye, unicorn.
That kind of sucks, yeah.
We have an extra safety if you want to pop it.
Yeah. I would say whoever's at the treasure chest should be the one in charge of bopping it generally.
Sure.
Just so we don't.
I'm gonna go ahead and use affluence too.
I'm gonna use fortune.
Careful, dragon.
God, I hate.
Yeah, this,
He's swinging towards you. He's swinging towards you.
I blocked it with line of sight.
Sweet.
Oh, it does
Better
block a
call
line of
it.
sight. That's good.
Yeah.
Blowing Ortho Droid because they're not dangerous. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pull the knight. I realize he's a robot and that's why we can't stun him, but it's stupid that you can't stun him.
The thing?
Yeah, the Ortho Knight.
I mean, is it actually because he's a robot, or that's the like in-game canon kind of explanation? Because like, are all robots in this game not stunnable? Is that true?
I don't know if all Forge can are. I haven't checked it, but a lot of them are.
I'm popping strength.
Sweet. Denny, good to see, glad to have you. What was your question? I asked because I started at 6.1 as a tank. You ask what? I have a milkshake? Oh, no. Oh, there I see. AR dungeons are especially hard on new tanks. You mean before or after they got reworked in 6.1? Well, not all of them did. And also, like, some, like, only a couple did in 6.1. So, like, the ones that did... I will also say even the ones that did, though, aren't... Some of them are still easy, but the thing is that ARR ones... The problem is ARR as a tank is you don't have a lot of tools, and your healer doesn't have a lot of tools or OGCDs to adjust. So their difficulty isn't so much in, like, their design as it is, like, the limited subset of tools. I'll try to get their dragon away from you guys. Oh, he just decided to point at you guys.
Yeah, they'll turn whichever.
Apparently, he just pick. Apparently, they'll just pick at you guys at random as a target. I won't be worrying about hallways because the traps are out.
Cheers.
Since this is YouTube, we're contractually I say like and share. Thank you, Jellybean.
Refresh your steel.
I guess I'm probably talking. Sorry, go ahead.
Steel. Pop a steel.
Got it.
No?
Talking before we worked, though plenty of optional dungeons still haven't been reworked. And even like the ARR ones, not all of them are really reworked. Some are like, some have been like Toto rocked, right? But some of them, Toto rocked. But some of them are basically the exact same. I'm trying to think of a really good example off the top of my head about the ones that are the same. Like Sastasha didn't get much of a change. The one, Stone Vigil. Yeah, Stone Vigil definitely got a shake up for sure. And that also one because it allows you to pull a little bit hard, especially with like the elemental sprites section. If you're not on top of your shit with that one, it can definitely get you. Yeah, that is probably one of the harder ARR dungeons. It's not that it's super hard, but it's just that like it's.
Jade was an owl.
Bronze.
I saw it.
For one glorious moment.
Are you getting Aether Pool yet, or what's the like breakpoints? I have no idea.
Right now I can get it at this level, but it's still, it's not, it's kind of like a 50-50. I don't know that that's the actual odds, but it's something like that.
Twinge.
Dragon. I think he just selects one of the people in our party at random, because I swear to God, no matter if I've aggroed him and face in the right direction, he'll just turn around sometimes.
Yeah, I think that is how it works. Or he picks a random direction, but I think it is baited at somebody.
I do love the idea that he's fighting someone and just randomly chooses to like turn it like 180 and aim behind him for no good reason. Healing. Give me Doga.
Always going for the healer.
We have an extra strength. DPS already have them.
Cool, I'll go for it then.
I'm gonna pop steel.
I wish the steel was steel was blue and strength was red in their upgrades.
Oh, that one did the volume down.
Hey, was that the shout you were talking about?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what I thought it was. But this is like further on, so it's a different thing. It's the view red.
Yeah, Miles sees more white than pink. Sorry, go ahead.
French dragon thing.
I believe you just described this card. Yeah, I told the healer I was new and asked if I could do big bowls. Let's just say we didn't do big bowls. Yeah, I mean, that's good. If you want Raven, that would actually be a really good one if you want to test yourself on improving and learn how to get really have a good sense for your tools.
So there's a
showing you how to Okay,
nasty.
cool. We're gonna do storm. So I'm gonna pull and then I'm gonna go straight to storm. And we got a storm from her too. Haha. I'm pulling early on some of these guys just because they're low health already because of the storm. Did Jake get owl? Mimic.
I think it was a thing that spawns more ads in this room.
Ah, okay. Unalluring.
Yes, that's what it was.
I'm doing. There you go.
Interjected. Yeah, I watch them very closely for that. Oh god, my asshole. Do you guys want to refresh strength or V?
No, probably. He's only 1 minute.
Yeah, good.
I love that we can see durations on the buff bar now.
It's so nice.
Does anyone else use strength?
Jade should probably refresh.
No, that's flight. Whoops. JT, good to see you. Glad to have you. Look at all those little doodads. Oh my god, look at all those chests.
There's great tracts of land.
Huge tracts of land. I'm gonna let you guys worry if you want to figure that out. Yeah, I told the healer it was but I'll see more wipes now than before. Yeah, Stone Vigil is it's I wouldn't say it's necessarily harder than it was before because I think the trash is pretty much the same, but it does ask a little bit more of you with some of the new
Yeah, I could
bosses.
use steel. Sure.
White Mage is nothing useful, and one long GCD heal at the level to help you. Yeah. Do they have Holy at that point? Because I know they do by Aurum Veil. Does anyone know off the top of their head what level Holy arrives for White Mage?
50, I thought?
Stone Vigil's what, 43? So that must be right before they get it.
I distinctly remember wanting but not having Holy for Stone Vigil.
Okay. 44 is Vigil, yeah, okay. Is this the best Deep Dungeon ever? It's my favorite so far, though I have a fondness for Heaven on High. And I have a fondness of the lore of POTD. But playing-wise, so far, yeah, it's my favorite, far and away. I'm sure a lot of the vets don't love it as much because it's easier.
Easier, really?
Oh, yeah. A lot of people have cleared solo 100 runs compared to, how long it took for the other ones so far.
Yeah, but is that just people are experienced doing that kind of thing now?
No, so having looked at the reasons that they gave and having looked at the fights and stuff, I totally understand why. It's basically, so part of it's that, the enemies don't hit it. Enemies don't hit as hard. You can solo this on DPS way, way, way easier than you could the others. and just the way that the tools are set up, and the ways that you can get buffs from the notorious enemies and stuff. It's not that it's like cakewalk or anything, but it's a lot. There's a lot of ways to mitigate pressure points for it.
That's fair enough, but I like this one.
Oh, I mean, I think one that's slightly easier for one man to make it more approachable, but not like maybe if you're an expert, it's like face walk. But I think for most people, it's still a major achievement. So I think it's a good thing, not a negative. Easiest, I found it pretty hard at the beginning. Yeah, so JT, it's interesting. I would say that so far my experience is that it's a little bit more spread out in terms of difficulty, whereas like Heaven on High starts to spike as you go along. Looking from what I played and from looking at what I've looked at in later levels, it's much more that it's the bosses are a real challenge and the mobs are kind of evenly spread in terms of difficulty in Orthos. And so you have enemies that you kind of have to watch out for by floor 30 in a way that's not, you don't really in Heaven on High. In Heaven on High, 1 through 30 is Cakewalk McGee. So it's relatively speaking, thinking about holistically, relatively speaking and thinking about the whole experience from 1 to 100, it's relatively easier. It also is worth pointing out that if you have a lower Aether pool than what you might be used to on a Heaven on High or POTD, it's going to be very different. POTD also doesn't get hard until after 50 effectively. There's 1 or 2 enemies you might have to worry about, in my opinion and experience, by 50. Nelly, good to see you, glad to have you. Is it possible to level up like POTD and Heaven on High? Yes, from 80 to 90 you can level up in Eureka Orthos. Exact same thing. So now basically if you wanted to level through non-traditional, or I guess they're traditional methods, but you could use POTD, to get into your 60s, Heaven on High to get into your 70s, Baja Zadnor to get into your 80s, and then Eureka Orthos to get into your 90s.
We can pull the rest of this floor and pop storms. There's an extra one on the ground.
I'm having about 2-second spurts of delay, and so I'm just being very careful.
All right, I'm pulling
every so often. My game is pausing for 2 seconds here and there.
I'm gonna pop storms. Good.
Scarlet, good to see you, glad to have you. And also, easiest should be always taken in relative, right? So just because something's the easiest of 3 doesn't mean it's easy, And also, there's a difference between ease in talking about 4-man versus 1-man.
Nice.
Thank you, Bean. My attempts at solo on POTD have made mimics put the fear of God into me. Scarlet, same for my Heaven on High runs. That's whenever a mimics shows up, I'm just only focusing on I'm ready to interject at any second here. I totally feel that. I will use steel. Oh, someone else used steel. That's fine. POTD doesn't get hard till after 50. Elio just died solo at level 20. Okay, but also solo is different than non-solo. But again, it's relatively speaking. I would say for me, it's not. I would not consider it hard. But I've also made it a couple of times into Heaven on High floor 90 solo, right? So what I would consider hard versus what the average person might be is wildly different. A good example is Mr. Happy just had a wonderful podcast recently with a bunch of people who do, Deep Dungeon is their end game completely. They do nothing but they do crazy stuff in that. They do no Pomander runs and and what they would consider normal level difficulty or easy is going to be, you know, they may consider like soloing at all has just become easy for them, right? Okay, let's hit it. Commencing memory fabrication. Thou stands before Tiamat, guardian of Mericidia. Go forth, my children. Drive these foul invaders from our home. You know, now you've really put the idea in me that maybe we could face like a Bahamut, a clone, as an enemy in Mericidia.
I mean, there was already a Lunar Bahamut.
Right.
That was a primal, though. Not like
yeah. I mean, in the first primal, you know, first version of Bahamut we fought. But, like, bear witness to the power of the first brood. That was a nice pattern. I swear the AoE, like, the range of distance of whether or not these heads touch you is really weird.
It's really not nice. I don't like it.
I wish it had like a much more like clear visual indicator that you got hit. Because sometimes I'm looking up, I'm like, I did a great job not getting hit, and then I see I've taken no damage, but I have like fallen stacks for days.
Your indicator is your home stack.
Yeah, but like I want an animation.
Tail, that's fine.
Tail. I do love the bosses. Like, man, if they made a Palace of the Dead or a Deep Dungeon that was 100 floor of bosses, that would be my favorite thing. That would be. Oh, I'd love that so much. Like, the quality would probably vary wildly, understandably, but. I want to do solo heaven on high. I got my true hero. I'm done. I want lone heroes so bad. That's one of the for only titles in the game I've actually really wanted. Yeah, final sting is a bitch and a half. That's true, Daniel.
I got a new high score.
Nice.
Oh, hey.
Oh, you're still in there.
Tokapshi card?
Oh, to capture card. There's a card, a triple triad card.
Apparently.
I still haven't gotten it after all my runs. Life isn't fair, V. Life isn't fair. I don't want to. Because of mimics, I have trust issues with all chests in all games. Yeah, mood. Damn Alligans and their dragons fed. Wow. I mean, more. Oh, you're not wrong. We get it, guys. Dragons were the hardest enemies you had to defeat. You don't need to keep belaboring the point. Well, that means more just the fact that they adapted everything into them, into their, like, culture, right? They're Romans. They fucking took over something and then claimed it. JT, Elliot, do you think we're having content drought as now for Endwalker? Like, currently? No. We're having the exact same patch cycle we've had in the past. Which is that we have... Like, the patches are just as big as they've been in the past. It's just... And they're on the same... They're on a specific cadence as well. They're on a 4-month cycle. I mean, we know exactly what we're gonna get, and when, like, we get the MSQ on every 0.0, we get tribal and some other side content on the 0.5, and then we also get, like, things like, we got things like Island Sanctuary, we've gotten things like Eureka Orthos, we've gotten things like, you know, well, there's something else I'm forgetting, but, like, it's not a drought. It's just the between expansion patch cycle where you get a decent chunk of stuff, but it's also okay to take breaks, you know? I think it's just, like, if you're not, like, right now, if there's not enough to do, I mean, it's partially because they have their team working on content, but also working on the expansion at the same time, and they're putting out a pretty meaningful amount. But if like you want to play it hardcore all the time, then yeah, I can. And you don't want to grind certain things, like you don't want to grind Eureka Orthos, you don't want to grind old content. I mean, there's so much old content to do too, like Jesus. But if none of that's appealing to you, then just take like a break until the next patch, you know, or take a break until for a couple of patches. Like a lot of times, so many people, we get to 0.3 and people feel a little burnt out or a little bit like there's not enough content, and then they take a break until like 0.5 or 0.55, you know? Like it's super healthy to do that. That's like the design philosophy in mind. Augusto, hey, we're on Crystal Curl. Go into Eureka. Yeah, Jade, exactly. Oh, V and Jade, I forgot to check what instance we're in.
I'm guessing we should come to you.
Probably?
Just tell us what instance you're in and I can transfer.
We're on instance 2. And anyone is more than anyone can join us who would like to. We have multiple parties going on right now. And also, if you want, you can come join our Discord over at discord.gg/Eorzean Archives, where we do all sorts of social. We use socializing about Final Fantasy 14 and meet up to do all sorts of content together. So if you like talking lore, or like talking 14 in general, and like playing with other like-minded people, and even if you're not a social butterfly, it is a place where you can even lurk and join in things. There's lots of people here who can attest that they are not maybe the biggest social butterflies in the world or are anxious beings, and still were able to, find people to play with.
Are you sure, Omino?
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, V.
Omino gave me the raindrop defense system umbrella.
Aww.
Yeah, I have it already.
That's very good. Yeah, I'll say I'm happy for a little lull. It gives me a chance to play other games. Yeah, I mean, like, to me, 0.3, like, after 0.3 comes out, if you're worried about having enough content and stuff to do, take a break until 0.5. Like, just take a break for about 4 to 8 months or so. Or if you want to come back, do for each patch. But, like, we'll get into the hype cycle in about, 4 months here? From FanFest, and that's when shit's gonna start really taking off. I will be very careful now. Oh, hey, look, it's XLI. So these things are the progenitors that Alag made to Ixal. These things escaped from Az's Law and became the Ixal. Ooh, close shave, nice.
Okay, are these like room wide? Yes. Oh.
Yeah. What? I wasn't looking at him.
Game says otherwise.
Thanks, guys.
I'm entirely fresh on this now. I've never been to floor 31.
Do you want here? Well, real quick, let me read off the enemies here. Okay, there are Mirror Knights, which are patrol. They have a 20-second stun gaze, combos into lethal AoE, so don't get stunned by them, like I just did. Ortho Bug, extra attack that leeches health. Ortho Spider, particle collision, late small point blank AoE that applies minimum, which like shrinks you down. Follow up with an auto attack enhancement that likely one-shots you if you're small, so don't get shrunk by the spiders. Ortho Calcium, XLI. Buffs other mobs with 2x times damage buff, so they buff other enemies. You don't want to stack them. Ortho Naga, conal gaze attack. If you're not directly in front, you can continue to look at it in DPS. So it's like the guy we were talking about earlier on earlier levels. Okay, I see you're all running forward.
Umino used a dread, so he's, juggernauting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, same. Another game I took a break from, just had a huge update, so I've been playing that lots. Yeah. Join if you had finished POT level 50. Well, Daniel, remember that we have a lot of people who would be more than willing to play that with you, so if you can always team up with other players. I think Endwalker is definitely hurt by not having a huge thing like Eureka Orthos, and the Relic just being tomes doesn't really help, but there's plenty of out there like Criterion. So maybe, and I'll speak for maybe a minority here, but like the tomes really helped me, because it allowed me, I get to know go farm EX content, so like I get to go farm EX trials and farm mounts, and get to work on my Relic. I get to go farm Lapis Manalis to try and get the mini and get work on my Relic, or like any of the other dungeons from Endwalker that have minis that I wanted to farm. So like to me, if it had been something like, oh, you need to go farm Eureka Orthos, it actually would have hurt the amount that I had to farm, or side things that I would have had to been able to do. So I'm personally in the ball. I very much really am thankful for it being tomestones, not because it's easier, but because it's better for me for like content to do. I mean, like, I understand too, like, flavor side of it, people being a little upset. But you know, I had to say overall I'm pretty pro for it. But I do think you're right, Jade, that like Eureka did, like, not having something like Eureka or Baja definitely doesn't help. I'll say though that Eureka and Baja, you know, the amount that people are scared to approach it already, and the amount of time it takes to get all the notes, for instance, currently, adding another grind on top of that, I'm mixed on if that's, you know, better than something like a deep dungeon or something that's more approachable in small group or single player. I mean, like, if you want to do Delivum Regine Savage right now, if you don't join a Discord specifically to try to do it, you know, it can be a pain in the ass. Orthobugs remind me of how much I adore FF12 Mimic design. Yeah, Scarlet, that's what I always think of too. But to show it, yeah, that's exactly Raven. The reason I died was I was trying to show the danger of the enemy. You got it. 12 level L's in thinking move. Yukio, good to see you, glad to have you. Yeah, JT. I mean, the thing is, just like we do Eureka stuff all the time with the Eorzean Archive community. So if you want to come join us ever on that, feel free to.
There's that patrol behind us, the Mirror Knight, coming our way. Yeah.
Thank you.
Just remember the gaze.
Stay gaze.
And if I might add on the relic weapons, presumably they'll have further enhancement steps, and so the further in the hole you get yourself with these easy steps, the more you're grinding you're gonna have to do keep up to keep up later.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, and whether that's a pro or a con is up to each individual.
Oh, I was greedy.
Second Mirror Knight coming in. Be careful.
I'm gonna die.
Pulling Mirror Knight away.
Lumino, my aggro.
Orthos Mirror Knight 2. And look away. Grabbing silver chest. Oh, for sure, but I meant more that having something comparable in size of having relics linked to stuff. Yeah, totally. Having relics linked to stuff, they're putting out things like Criterion or Orthos or Island, yeah. Oh, Criterion was the other thing I was thinking about, right? And I think the thing is, like, Criterion, I totally not only see what you're saying, but in general agree, Jade. I think I will say for the long-term health of the game, something like Criterion, Orthos, and Island are so much more approachable for a small group or single player that I think I'm in general, as much as I do enjoy Eureka and Baja, a bigger fan of the things that if my small friend group wanted to contend with it alone, we'd be able to. And sometimes that's less realistic for something like Eureka or Baja. I think Eureka still works fine, especially because people still do, you know, farming for nightmare mobs, but like, or notorious monsters. But yeah. There are worse siege. Watch. Oh yeah, talking about the movies Yukio was watching. You've never heard of Shark Boy and Lava Girl? I mean, not seen, sure, maybe, but like never heard of Shark Boy and Lava. V, you've heard of Shark Boy and Lava Girl, right?
Yes. What does that imply?
Well, just nothing. I mean, we just have different tastes and different backgrounds. So, like, if you've heard of it, then like I expect, you know.
Not cool enough.
I don't think you're cool if you've seen Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Oh no.
Coming back. I did not realize.
Just floated chain. I think they just got aggro.
An ortho bug. Oh, okay. Careful of ortho bugs minimize and insta kill. And then Orthos Shabidi doesn't, as far as I know. Has anybody here played Elden Ring? Because every time I see the Shabidi, all I can think is of Shabriri. And his lovely, lovely grapes.
I just think of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Quick, someone get a Millennium Key.
Maybe this whole deep dungeon is just the palace of our minds.
Oh, found it, El. You found the trap in that room.
You just get to Tiamat, and it's just Blue Eyes White Dragon. Meristidia field operations. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that that sort of thing happened for. Yeah, I could definitely buy it.
Okay,
It's definitely an acid trip. Yeah.
if we go to Meristidia, which I'm assuming you were correct on that one, can we please have a boss that's a Blue Eyes White Dragon?
I mean, there's got to be some joke towards it, right? Even if it's like a joke. There's got to be a joke about that in Ishgard. Like, there's got to be like a churning mist quest or something. Jade said, New World would feel very disrespectful, but Australians aren't real, so we can make fun of them. The amount of Australia jokes that I got on my most recent video is pretty funny. Oi, fuck it, mate. Let's just drop a bomb on Mara City and be done with it.
I'm gonna use Demi-Clone.
Do it. Do it. Now everyone... Can anyone else watch Thundercats? Oh! Yeah. I mean, it probably depends on which version of Thundercats you mean. Like the more recent version or the original.
Did they do a remake?
Yeah, didn't they? I'm not crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe I guess.
Not for that reason.
They did a newer animated series.
Wasn't it like the same people who did She-Ra or did like...
The animation felt similar. I haven't actually watched it, but I've like seen of
Hold
it.
this one, Elio.
Hmm? Oh, you pulled it? Hey, strength. Oh, were you guys trying to clear that room for the Cairn?
There's a
Or just the
hopper in
chest?
here, yeah.
Oh, I can't open things while I'm small.
Your hands aren't big enough.
I'm roughly Lalafell sized. How are they supposed to get on?
They've had a lifetime of practice of using their small hands.
Rude.
I'm gonna use Storm. Go ahead and open the chest.
Surely my claws must work as lockpicks if they're small enough.
Lawless have to... I'm not getting into that. Dude, that He-Man reboot in the early 2000s did slap Scarlet. I actually think the original is kind of, not garbo, but like it is not great. But that He-Man 2000s reboot of He-Man was actually pretty fire. I recently rewatched like the pilot of it, because I was like, was this as good as I remembered it? And no, it actually is. It went far harder than it needed to. I'm pulling that knight because otherwise it's going to be a pain in the ass later. Look away.
Or stun it? Did that work?
Oh, it's stunnable? Oh, there we go.
I mean, a lot of mobs tend to be.
Look, the frickin' Forgekin have me thrown, so...
You hadn't tried? I don't know.
I don't just run around like, does this stun? Does this stun?
I do. I don't know. That's what I every mob I fight on my tank, I'm kicking you in the face.
Well, I think we've just established that one of us is the far better tank, and it's not me. I can't repeat that because I don't want to get people started on it, but I totally agree and understand what you mean. Orthonaga. Oh, and I'm an owl. Look away from the Orthonaga.
Okay, that one looks like Conal in front of it. It looked like.
Yes. It is, according to the guide. 15 seconds. What do you mean I can't use my beak to open a treasure chest? My friends are dying. Maybe there's something useful in there. Like a mimic.
Yes, while I can't take anything, let me open this chest to be a mimic.
Guys, we're on floor 34, and I haven't had tank stance on this whole time.
I think we did establish who's the better tank.
Yep, I think we firmly have established I am quite a poor tank.
That's actually part of the reason I didn't
Yeah.
want to run a Sage, because I'm like, I'm so tired of reapplying Cardia.
Oh, Cardia, yeah.
Sage tank stance.
See, Daniel, I was a little bit after. Like, Rugrats, I saw, like, reruns and stuff, and I saw, like, some reruns of Hey Arnold, but I'm 95. So for me, it's much more like Ed, Ed and Eddie, Courage the Cowardly Dog, you know, like, that a lot of that era. Dexter's Lab, Codename Kids Next Door, you know, all sorts of stuff.
Jake. Depressed stance after every pool. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely meant to do that. I'm playing AD chess. Correct, Daniel.
I just got my Reaper to 90, and they have a similar ability where it's like, if you use this outside of combat, it's instant or something. And I'm like, I hate these things. I hate those abilities so much. Like, please just take them away. I don't like them.
Oh.
What's up, Emilio?
Solso, that's the Reaper ability.
Oh, Soulso. I just heard, uh-oh. I didn't hear Soulso.
Oh, yeah, that's what it sounded like. I gotcha.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh, sorry. I didn't.
I don't know why, but I heard uh-oh. Then my brain thought of Teletubbies. Then my brain somehow thought of Lullafellafubbies, and it's just Teletubbies but Lullafell. And I am cursed now with this knowledge.
Your next video
So you
then?
decided to share it. Thank you.
You are now also cursed with this knowledge. Will you ever watch the Nier Automata anime, Leo? Yes, I will. I will probably watch it sometime soon. Has it wrapped up? If it hasn't, I'll probably wait until then. I might also watch. I might replay the Replicant, the new Replicant, and then watch it after. Seven, good to see you. Glad to have you.
I thought I heard the second season was already going to be canceled or like not continued. Is that? Maybe I'm making stuff up though.
Maybe. I mean, that'd be pretty surprising. Although maybe the demographic of people who love to play Nier games is not actually as overlapping with the weeaboo crowd as you think.
You
I got
get out of that. Oh,
Or I got
On my
Wait.
screen, I was out of it by a lot. Involving.
Yay.
Oh boy, I'm gonna get hit by that again.
We're getting to the part of the dungeon that's hard.
Okay, take a second, regroup. I'm gonna read chat real quick. Being a '96 kid, I was too into Cartoon Fridays. Yeah, loved all those shows. Elio just loved Rugrats, Dexter's Lab, Ed and Eddie. Yeah.
Oh, Dexter's Lab's so great, and
DD.
Powerpuff Girls, I love.
Yeah. Mojo Jojo. Also, I should. You probably you love anything Gendy Tartakovsky had a hand in, don't you?
I
don't you,
do.
V?
Yes, I do.
Samurai Jack, baby.
Freaking Samurai Jack, so good.
AA69. Do most people do not use command to shrink summon size in their clients? What? Tiny summons allowed me great visual freedom when playing Summoner. No, I just like them big.
Oh god.
Most people do. I just like having them large, and they don't bother me that much. Because I use tab targeting, so it doesn't change much for me. Focusing the Lamia first. Is that thing proximity, or is it really just not able to see you?
Are we at all choosing to prioritize like trying to skip as much as we can now?
Oh, I mean, yeah. Once it's on, Yeah. Once it's unlocked, we're good to go.
Well, not even when it's unlocked, but like, you know, if you can sneak around stuff, you don't have to fight the super nasties, right? Like,
I didn't see that we had the thing done. So that's why I attacked the Lamia. But do you mean just that bull guy? Like,
I'm just meaning in general.
ooh, there's a silverback there. Are we gonna get? Nah.
Oh, we missed it?
Nah.
How did we miss a silver?
I just thought
I'll
you
grab
haven't
it.
Oh,
been
you
to that
just
room.
right. That's why. Yeah, sorry.
I'll grab it.
Okay,
Then we should
run for it.
hand back to that lady.
Does anyone know Shaolin Showdown? Yes, I do. Typhoon boom, wind.
As a child. What?
Fuck. Thank you for joining me.
What happened?
I also now I want to make mimic. Now I want to make some of the what are they called? The different talismans from Shaolin Showdown. The different things with different abilities.
The Shengang Wu.
Shengang Wu, thank you. Now I want to make some of those. Megas XLR, yep. Yeah, I'd probably affect a lot of people who made them Mecha fans. Although, honestly, my introduction to Mecha was probably mainly through Gundam on Toonami.
I need some help with a mimic.
Another one?
Yeah.
On my way. Get that chick a giant robot. Chick sticks.
Oh my
giant
gosh.
robots. Oh my god. What is this nonsense? I'm really glad we have Doga now because of his freeze. Hey, yeah, does anyone want to help Augusto unlock for 34 onwards for, I'm assuming you mean Eureka Orthos? Do we have any open groups, Bean? Do you know? Like, is Rowan's group still open down in person? If not, we can try to get another group going. Elio likes them big and chunky. What did I say about, oh, liking them big and chunky because of the summons? I was about to say, when the... What did I say? Oh, hey, bummer.
I love how you walked right by.
Oh, giant motherfucking... Oh, that was the wrong
Get
button.
away. Or don't. Oh god.
I wasn't gonna get away fast enough. Divine retribution. Thank you, Bean. Damn it, I'm... Big O, I don't know that I know that one. Oh, you know what my first introduction to Mecha probably was? Zoids. You know, speaking of Zoids. Liger 0 for anyone who knows. Other than Zoids, I mean, would you count Megazords as being an introduction to Mecha? I mean, it's Mecha Light. Oh boy.
Do these do anything super nasty?
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
That looks
Yep.
pretty nasty. Oh, that also looks... Oh. Oh, there we go.
That would suck that there was 2 of them in a row right as we stepped in. Well, honestly, it's actually 5 minutes before the stream's supposed to end anyways, so that might have been good timing.
And what was that argument we were having?
It was
about
planned.
Bullshit RNG, and you were like, no, it's totally fine.
No, but so for instance, like there, right? That's where you use Storm. So like that would be if like you knew what those guys were and the level of threat they were, you'd use something like witching, or you use a storm, or you'd like there's ways to contend with that.
Oh, fair enough.
I'm not saying there's no RNG in it. My point is just like the way it's designed is, hey, conserve your resources to save for situations like that. Make sure that you have either an auto revive, or make sure you have a storm on hand in case you need to fight a dread beast, or you need to fight a situation like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did you try stunning them?
I was dead because I looked over, and then I went to like go try to open up my Pomanders to try and throw a storm, and I was gone already because it knocked me, because I didn't know what the attack was, and it went off right away. Because all it said was a thingy, and I'm like, does that knock me away? Does it storm me in? Am I gonna take damage? Who knows? Use storm, that other RNG items. But no, decoy, so good to see, glad to have you. But no, but that's not... So the game, that's the thing though, is the design is set up for you to take advantage of trying to conserve resources, because by that floor, if you're opening gold chests, you will get at least one storm. Like, you're gonna get a storm. And so the thing is that as long as you're not using it willy-nilly and you're planning around it, the point is about you conserving your resources and using them effectively. Because the thing is, you're not going to run into that floor 4 times in a row and then you're just screwed, which also, if you're conserving your storms and your witching, you still would be able to deal with. You know? So it like, part of the fundamental tactics and strategy of Palace of the Dead is about the usage of resources, or about Deep Dungeons, about the usage of resources, right? So like, while there's RNG that can like get you and make things a lot harder, 100%, like, it's not that you're never gonna get something that there's no way you could have ever possibly have handled. There are things where you failed at floor 95 because you weren't managing your resources well on floor 40 through 60 or something, you know? Or you could, and like, but that's very different than just you get something where you spawn in and something final stings you before you can move, right? You load in and you get insta-killed, and there was nothing you could have done. Check out Dread Beast with a landmine earlier. Surviving felt good. Yeah, nice. Remember the sexy commercial for some online store called O or something? Zoid's remake soon, I think? Oh yeah? Well, that's interesting. Let me look up that Nier thing. Nier Anime Season 2. Where did Season 1 even end?
I have no idea.
Oh, it's just not been renewed yet. It hasn't been canceled.
Okay, so they hadn't renewed it yet.
Yeah. But that happens sometimes. It hasn't even the first season hasn't even finished airing, so like they may be waiting until the end of the season 1 before they like decide whether they're gonna renew, you know? Like, it doesn't even finish airing until April.
Oh, I thought it was done. Sorry, but yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it took a bit of a hiatus. I think I read. No, it looks like it's just been airing since January. It's been airing every week, so it's on. It's on episode 7. My curiosity is, where does it end? And also, yeah, that's interesting. I mean, KFC, you definitely get storm before you need one, which was the point of the RNG woes. I can confirm that you're definitely going to get a storm. If you're opening gold chests, you'll definitely get a storm before you need one. Because there's no way you would need a storm for anything from 1 through 30. Because, like, all of them are things you can defeat solo. And, like, you could use a witching to deal with that stuff. Like, that enemy that we just fought, you could have used a witching on. Or you could have used a lethargy, and it would have slowed it down enough that you would have had no problem dealing with it. Like, you're given... There's, like, multiple avenues to, like, to contend with things. Plus, if you had a Doga, it would be able to freeze it. Plus, I don't know, we didn't check if it could stunnable, and you would have been able to deal with it that way. So it's just like, again, I'm not saying it should be fun for anyone. Like, I don't necessarily love the level to which it can spike. But I think discounting it as completely bullshit, I think, is unfair to its design. I think it is designed a specific way and how it wants to be. It's not just like, you know, shrugging and being like, you like hard things, right? You know? Oh shit, someone's playing 1 million guild to get people to sit in a PF for 2 hours? What? They want a solo... How do you solo DR... Well, oh, no, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Do you do it as Black Mage? I feel like you were telling me about that, Jade. I thought you said DSR, or like, I thought you, you meant Dragon Song of Reprise, not Deliberum Savage. They want a 10 mana. Interesting. Oh, for scale. Wait, so they want a solo via... That's crazy. Oh, have a good one, Raven. Hope you feel better. Good to see Une and Doga live on those items. Yeah, their data in the tombstones. Yeah, I don't know if any of you guys have gotten the Onion Knight yet, but we got really lucky in our first run and got the Onion Knight, and that's adorable and deadly. Any good items? No, only trash. Well, I guess not only trash. Does anyone need the Alamigan gown? I know me and Umino don't.
Can you link it? Is it cool looking? I'm assuming it's gear.
Yeah, it's my dancer one. And then also if anyone needs those. Those pantaloons seem to be calling Umino's name, I'll say. So. Dungeon can doom you side. I mean, I guess I would just say, like, do you think like games like Spelunky are inherently just bullshit, or do you think they're just not for you, Decoy? You know, pass. They're not. RNG can doom you side. Yeah, but yeah, I guess like it's just more like the fundamental design is there is going to be points at which you're going to have to contend with that, and you know that you're going to have to like have those moments of enemies spawning in like certain places. And as you go, like the floors, like, you know, the enemies on floors, right, are very specific. The bosses. So like their placement's variable, but that's why you're given pomanders rather than giving no items. Because if it was like always the enemies are in the exact same place and everything's solved, it's just about then just literally playing it out. Whereas why you're given a tool set to be able to contend with that is never played it. Yeah, I mean, I guess I would just say, like, in this case, I don't. Yeah, I think there's a lot of intentionality behind the design and why you're given the tools you are and the way in which, and why they do different things. Why, like, lethargy slows abilities. Why witching, you know, turns them into foes. Why you have what's the pomander that turns you into a giant machine that allows you to one-shot enemies. You know, it's a roguelike. If you don't like roguelikes, you might find Deep Dungeon Experience. Yeah, Deep Dungeon Experience your favorite. Yeah. Your knowledge will carry you through bad RNG. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I just can say, like, I can tell you, as having run Heaven on High solo a bunch, every time I've messed up, every time I've died at the end from, like, a certain amount of, like, bad luck, a certain amount of, like, something happening, it was because I made a mistake at some point earlier, right? And so it's not that the game just gave me bullshit. It's like, you know, you're rolling a dice, you're going to get a 1 through 6 on each floor, basically. This is the overgeneralization. And the game makes you know that and gives you tools to potentially deal with that. But if you ignore that and just treat every floor as a complete, like, disconnected thing, then that doesn't have that same, you know, it feels like it's bullshit rather than it being about the experience of the whole thing holistically, where you're a couple times throughout going to experience rough problems, right? You're going to experience, in this case, you know, a notorious monster. You're going to experience spawning in with, like, 2 enemies in a bad place. And that's why you don't use Storm willy-nilly just to clear a random trash room. Or maybe you do, but in order to get a bunch of chests so that you might have more resources later. And again, I'm not defending that anyone must enjoy that. But I don't think it should be criticized for that, because I think it's a very specific type of game and gameplay that I actually do think is enjoyable. And is good to have in the game for a you know, wider breadth of types of gameplay, especially as optional content that you don't have to engage with. I mean, it's not like they made the relic grind connected to it, and so if you don't like Deep Dungeons, you're now forced to do Eureka Orthos, you know, or something like that if you like desperately want a relic. And while a relic is optional, sure, you know, people, you know, it's pretty normal to want to like be able to engage with that and like that glam. It's cool to see something so old school RPG as a roguelike in 14. Yeah. And I mean, the thing is, you could go the entire time playing 14, not engaging with Palace of the Dead, not engaging with Heaven on High, not engaging with Eureka Orthos, or I would say, like, hey, Palace of the Dead, Eureka Orthos, and Heaven on High all have, you know, 50, 30, and 30 for their stories, which are all very approachable. And so where you don't really have, you're not going to have to worry about RNG bullshit really at all in at least Eureka Orthos and Heaven on High. It's been a while since I've done like 50 in any regular way on Palace of the Dead. And while there's some enemies that are hard, they're all super, super easy to solve for. You know? Sometimes you create FF's origins in old school CRPGs like... Well, I mean, it's not. I mean, I wouldn't say its origins were in CRPGs. I mean, I would say that its origins are more come from tabletop RPGs, and CRPGs also come from tabletop systems. Right? I mean, maybe that's semantics, but I guess, like, to me, I would see them that more they branched off of the same thing, you know? If the enemies were locked in place, it would be Criterion Dungeon, not a deep dungeon. Yeah, that's a great way of putting it, Jade. And if you like Criterion better than Deep Dungeon, so do I. But, you know. So I will vehemently defend to say, like, hey, I don't think it... Like, Jade doesn't like Deep Dungeon as much, right? Like, it does... The RNG aspect of it and the grind stuff isn't, I think, as far as I understood what Jade has said in the past, not that fun for them. But I think that's different than saying it's not good or it's just bullshit. I think if I put Eureka bias aside, the best relics are Shadowbringers because most of the time you can do either Baja or something else like Grinding Fates. Yeah, gives us an option for people who want to not do Baja that can be equally boring. Yeah, I totally agree, Jay, and that's one of the reasons I really like the Shadowbringers ones. And I think probably those are ultimately the best compromise between people who want to have something that's dedicated for a specific grind and also have options. I will say for me, I like Tomestones because it means I can do almost any of the content and feel like I'm working towards it, but I appreciate that people want the flavor. And it's probably something beyond the flavor too. I mean, like, I think the thing that's interesting to me is I've heard a lot of people be like, the reason that they wanted a different system is they want to like, they wanted to revitalize old content, but that's really interesting to me because like the Tomestones revitalizes a lot of content that doesn't get run a whole bunch of. Like if I want to run Lapis or Dungeons a whole bunch, or if I want to run any of the EXs, or if I want to run, like if I want to run pretty much, or if I want to do, you know, God, I had a whole list of things, but like it did revitalize old content. Because if you want to revitalize Boja, like you're not gonna, like the Shadowbringers relics already do that. If you want to rise Eureka, well the Eureka relics already do that. So if you want to, I think you could argue maybe Stormblood Fates, I don't think anything touches on. Like, that might be fair. Shadowbringers Fates, I guess, maybe. I mean, that's kind of what the Pike-Collar Gemstone system is supposed to be for, but still. I think you could think of the Evilise Raids, I suppose. You know, but I don't like tomes because stuff like Criterion gives a negligible amount, and unless you're speed killing Savage or doing 30 Eureka, those aren't really great either. Yeah, I guess for me, I would say, like, you know, but the thing is, like, you could farm, like, a lot of the current dungeons, which, I mean, if you don't like dungeons, fair, right? But like, I think that, or if I wanted to, like, I still don't have any of the mounts from any of the EXs, right? So I could go work on my mount farm and passively be getting, you know, 25 tomestones each time we do one for, like, Barb. So while it's not a lot, feeling like I can work towards the relics constantly, or, you know, if I, you know, now that I have Omni 90, being able to be like, oh, hey, maybe I still want to do level my 80 roulettes, you know, get 120 tomestones that I need. You know, I'm incentivized to do leveling roulettes, even though I don't need to level anything anymore. And not just because of my causality, but also because of my astronomy. Or, you know, Crystalline Conflict. I can now work on doing my series reward while also working on my relic, you know. And again, like if like the options that give Tombstone aren't very beloved, again, then I get it. I would also say though that like part of what happens when you restrict it down to like just, let's say, Fates from Stormblood, if someone really doesn't like doing Fates, they're kind of fucked, right? Whereas if you don't like doing dungeons, you still have other options. You have PvP, you have trials. You could go do you could just go do all the current normal raids. Let's say you just do the current normal raids on repeat over and over and over again, and just get a bunch of all the current normal raid gear, right? And you get some tomes from that. And so it's just that plethora of options for whatever kind of content you enjoy that I personally think is a pro. Fair. I just see it as them replacing doing Baja Eureka with doing roulettes. I mean, I don't think that's totally unfair, right? I guess I would say if it was just roulettes, like if it was just dungeons, I think I would be even more on board with that. Whereas because I could, let's say I want to work on my desynth right now because I love working on my desynth, I could go into Asphodelos 8th Circle and just like, or, you know, run, or Abyssos 8th Circle and just run Abyssos on repeat. Or any of the Abyssoses and like build up a bunch of the, or let's say I didn't have the minion for that, right? From the, like I could just run 8th Circle until I get the minion, which is like what I'm doing with Lapis right now. Or I need to work on my series reward, so I've been running Crystalline Conflict even though I don't get XP because I get the tomes. So that's super nice. Or if lately I've been needing to run Agalea in order to get my extra coins, and each time I do that I get 100. So let's say I just like running Agalea, or let's say I want to get, let's say I still don't have the minion from Eorzean, right? Let's say I don't have I almost said Athena, the Halone minion. I can just run Eorzean over and over again. I feel incentivized to do that both for the minion, but even though I'm not getting gear, I am getting the tomestones. And I'm not, if what I'm saying is not convincing, that's fine. I just want to articulate why I think there's a huge amount of strength, especially in current content, being allowed to run any of the recent-ish content of 6.0 to 6.3 and being able to work on it is, for me at least, for the way I play, been a really big boon because it's let me work on things in the back burner. The next expansion will just one giant deep dungeon, 10,000 floors, and you must beat it solo to get the full story. Let us describe hell in a handbasket. Let's never do that and say we did. I would say, if it was that and each floor was a boss fight, maybe I'm in. Fair. My PvE is just very different because I log on to do Eureka and Raid and pretty much nothing else, and recently, so I have 0 tomes coming in. Yeah, and that totally makes sense. Although I guess I would say, like, you know, but what if Jade, you know, the Manderville step was Stormblood Fates and it wasn't, you know, Eureka, you did anything to do with Eureka or Baja. And the thing is, you can also work on the Eureka and Bajan relics already, right, in those zones. And the other thing I would say, too, is in the future, it will be able to, because you can get you can get tomestones from at least Baja. I don't know about Eureka. I think so, right? And those and regular tomestones will be spendable on the Manderville, right, in the future. Now, it doesn't help you now, so, I mean, that's not really a counterpoint currently. But I guess I would just say, like, you know, the fact that you can still work on the relics from those times. I do that over roulettes on repeat, not gonna lie. I do that over roulettes on repeat, not gonna lie. Yeah, but sure. Like, I don't love doing roulettes on repeat. But like, but roulettes on repeat, do you mean specifically roulettes, or would you say, like, is, like, running Agalea or an EX on repeat still that? Because, like, if you don't have all the cats yet, you could, you know, work on the cats in it at the same time, right? Which would be nice. I mean, it's nowhere near as efficient. Sure. Yeah, so, like, you were running... Okay, so if I'm getting this right, so if, let's say you needed 15 of the item and you got 1 per, like, every 3 or 4 Fates and Stormblood, and let's say it takes you, like, 15 minutes to get enough relics for 1 step, or enough of the item for 1 step, it then is faster than grinding, like, Agalea or Eorzean or whatever those, because it's 1,500 tomes. Is that it? It's just that it's faster? Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I guess, like, for me... the only reason I haven't finished a lot more of the Shadowbringers relics is because of a lot of the steps of, like, grinding Fates just aren't fun to me, which is not an argument against it, because it's talking about my singular experience. But and so that's why in general, it's not just, oh, tomestones are matching with all the content I want to do in specific, but to have the breadth of, okay, I really don't want to fucking run another dungeon. I can go do Agalea. Okay, I really don't want to do PV, like normal, like the PvE content. I can do PvP, right? Like the ability to switch it up is part of what I like. I just see the relic as an objective, not like something that happens in the background. Yeah. I guess, but that happened with Baja anyway, right? And, like, I guess for me, and, like, that makes sense, right? Like, if that's, like, the philosophy, then, of course, that totally makes sense why tomes would kind of suck, because it seems like it's just getting further and further away from that. And the objective requirements right now is to run roulettes over and over, spend 3 times X's doing something less grading, like ARR Mount Farm. But, so, like, I guess my question would be, if it's tomestones, but, like, you dedicatedly are trying to farm tomestones, right? You could pick something like dedicatedly farming, you know, like not just doing roulettes, but doing like specific like lapis, right? Like you could still have a designated way to focus on tomes. And I know that's not, yeah, hoping back to Goblin for a bit. I'll be back for rating. Okay, sounds good, Umino. Here's a question, Ilio. Do you like the Hildebrand quests? I do. I very much do. I didn't like them at first when I first got into the game, but I've grown to really love them. How do you like the current ones so far? I think they're hilarious and amazing and exactly what they're supposed to be for Hildebrand quests. And if Hildebrand's not your thing, this won't change your mind. I mean, to be fair, but if it is even a little bit your thing, I think they're pretty wonderful. And Jade, thanks for giving me your, because I know like we come from very different backgrounds on this. I appreciate like having your perspective on it. And I know that sounds like probably bullshit, like, oh, it's so nice to hear your differing opinion, but like seriously, because from my standpoint, it feels very easy to be like, well, wait, I mean, I have a breadth of option. How is that not a good thing? But like, so I guess here's a question for you, Jade. Here's a question: if a dungeon, if running a dungeon gave you 300 tomestones, right? So let's say, or like, you know, 350 or whatever. So like you run 4 of them and you have enough to get a relic, right? So it's like you spend, you know, 20 minutes, you spend like 80 minutes or whatever doing that in a dedicated way that's focused on getting tomes, but is also just the content is dungeon rather than fate. Is the problem there still dungeon? Is the problem there that it's inefficient, and it's so inefficient for tomes that it becomes a background thing rather than a specifically farmable thing? Yeah, I should head over the tree too. And V, where do you come down in all this? Like, do you prefer the tomes? Do you prefer? Oh, did they leave? No, they're here. Just so you know, you're muted if you're trying to talk, V. I don't like it being closed because I need to spend on pots and stuff for raiding. Yeah, that's fair. Whereas you can't separate those two things. Yeah. I mean, like, I guess you could argue, oh, well, you could farm Gil in some way at the same time. That would allow you to, you know. But that's not. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Oh, I love them. I just wasn't sure if you'd like the humor, though. Oh, yeah, I find the humor's hilarious. I mean, I try not to worry about the lore-induced headaches that arise from it. But, I think, no, they're hilarious and wonderful. And it's good to have a bit of, like, levity every now and then. And the ability, and, like, the like, bespoke animations and stuff they do it's pretty good. Hell, if the objective was run 90 dungeons 5 times to get 5 crystals, I'd be more down. So, like, I mean, that's... basically, that's, like, what Shadowbringers did, right? Because, like, you could pick up the quests. Like, I have them right now. Like, you can just pick up... like, I picked up all these quests during Shadowbringers, and I've just been... whenever I run roulettes, I just passively get the crystals, basically. Like, I get the raw emotions from doing stuff. I get the loathsome memories of the dying, all those guys. It's straight up the fact that it's tomes that's like 10 to 15 dungeons. Okay, so it's the inefficiency and that it's tomes. Okay, cool. I feel like I better understand. So we're probably going to call it here. I got to go do some raiding in a bit. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Bean, if you're around, if you want to do the wrap-up. Outside of not encouraging people to go into some of the more neglected content they've added. Yeah, so which I guess, like, the thing is, Eureka already is incentivized with relics, and so is Baja, right? So, like, is there any specific other content that you would, like, park that under? Like, relics are one of several ways players are incentivized and rewarded for engaging in with diverse aspects of 14. Yeah, it's tend to where I fall. If you want to engage in only a select few types of content, then I'd say expect to miss some rewards. Yeah, I think that's generally fair, right? Like, you don't want to... And I think that's also a fair argument. Like, it's interesting, right? Because, you know, I feel like you could say that exact thing to argue both ways in terms of, if you want to engage only a select few types of content, then I'd say expect to miss some rewards. Well, if you want to engage... if you don't want to engage with... fates, right? You know, if you want to engage in a breadth of, like, the tome-related activities, but only tome-related activities, then you could argue that that's part of it. But also, yeah, They added Criterion and Variant. They added Island. They added the Deep Dungeon. There's a lot of ways they could make people do. Yeah, I guess the thing I would say is you wouldn't want to add Island because the point of Island is for it to be low key, right? You wouldn't want to add something that people are forced to engage with Island if they don't enjoy. Like, Criterion though makes sense, right? The same way that they had Time Worm artifacts for Baja, like with Pals of the Dead and stuff. I feel like it would definitely support adding something to Sylvie's Subterrane. At least definitely not ass, but normal. I want to do the things they added and get my relic, but all of them are pretty bad ways to get tomes. I guess, yeah, I see it much more as a marathon than a sprint, rather than like sitting down and I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna grind out a bunch of this today. I get a lot more of the dopamine from like being able to do it co-synchronously with another goal. But yeah, so that difference of baseline definitely or between us makes sense. Oh, V, are you still here? Because I was asking like what your take on that on this was.
Oh, sorry, I stepped away for a little bit. But what is it about the
All good. Yeah, no. Just about so like for instance for the relic grind, are you like the tomestone system, or do you wish it had been something that would either been more flavorful or had directed people towards older content rather than maybe something more currently like current dungeons and tome content? Oh
yeah, I was a little disappointed with it just being more tomestones, but like a little bit, but. I don't know. We'll see what comes next, I think.
Yeah, I guess Jade, I would ask out of curiosity if it wasn't tomestones all the way, would that make you feel a lot better, or that would make you like begrudgingly be like, okay, it's nice that they fixed it afterwards, but I'm still annoyed about the prior. Why aren't relics bis? Yeah, that is a weird one to me. That is, or at the very least, 635, right? At the very least comparable. I want to do the relics and things they add to get my relic, but yeah. Bean, let me read off your stuff. If you enjoy the stream and are already a member of our Discord, why not come join us at https://discord.gg/Eorzean archives. Thank you, Bean. Want to see scantily clad archivists? Well, we don't have those yet. But sign up for a Patreon anyways at www.patreon.com/Eorzean archives. Yes, it goes a long way towards supporting us. You do get things like your name above my head in the banner. You get the name at the end of credits of videos and other fun rewards like a name color change in the Discord. Speaking of which, if you join Patreon, don't forget to tell me. Sometimes it doesn't link up perfectly with the Discord and change your name, and I may have to manually do that. Redbubble, if you want stickers from us. We also have Ray Ray's Twitter, where she posts the funny little side conversations between people all over Eorzea. Not players, but NPCs. And there are some doozies, I will tell you. Like the Lullafell that is dreaming of Raban holding him in his arms and making him his sultana. Do you enjoy words in the written format? There's more lore at our eozeanarchives.com, where Niniri does a lot of written lore. So definitely check that out. If they gave you an actual objective to do later, I'll go back. That'll be nice. Okay, cool. Here's another question. If it was regular poetics right now and not astronomy, so that you would be able to spend regular poetics on it and astronomy you could spend on your like rating stuff, would that be any better? Would that be like quite a bit better? Or is it because it's still kind of the same inefficiencies, tomes, yada yada yada, because the same general problems would still apply, right? Other than a couple of things that might help with.
That would be awful to me. I don't want to have to spend the weekly cap limit on it.
No. Not causality. Like, not green. But the poetics of the ones you get from doing anything, literally like anything in the game. Because there's poetics, astronomy, and causality. Astronomy are spent on the relics, but I'm saying eventually, like how the Heavensward weapons are now, poetics will become the one that is spent on, like the Manderville stuff. I mean, I'd be able to get them, but like it doesn't drive people to new content either. Yeah, I get, but it doesn't drive anyone to specific new content, right? But I will say that I wouldn't have been doing Lapis or a bunch of other, a bunch of the things that I mean, it's different, right? Because it's the 90 content, but I wouldn't be doing them at all if I didn't have the reason of the relic. Like I wouldn't be going and grinding Lapis. So like I do think there's something to be said about like in a like general wave, having a lot of people doing more content is probably like still incentivizes people to revitalize, like people running old dungeons, right? Or to get poetics or something like that. But Verytron, good to see you, glad to have you. We are actually wrapping up here, but it's good to have you. Hopefully we'll see you soon. I don't mind being directed to specific content, but they could at least have the mats on old half the mats on old expansions. Half what mats? For the materials for like, are you saying like make old relics like easier? Well, if you want, we always have the our schedule up over on the Discord that you can always check out. Okay, I see relics as a way to get people to do specialized content. Yep, and that like as a fundamental philosophy, right? Like if that is the fundamental philosophy, then this fails, right? Like so totally. Release like Baja and Eureka, yeah, and then Baja kind of did the split. Like Eureka is like you're doing Eureka. Manderville is you are doing the Manderville quest, but you know it's not instant content in the same way, right? But like the requirement is you're doing Manderville. But beyond that, it's tomes. And then Baja splits the difference of allowing you to either do like fates or stuff in the open world, or you go do Baja. Yeah. So getting people to go do dungeons doesn't really do that, in my opinion, and making Podex doesn't change that. Yeah, it definitely doesn't specialize content, right? Like it's definitely not focused. 100%. It even if I come across, like, even if I say, like, you know, it's maybe a general good of, like, keeping things revitalized, people generally doing content during, especially, like, you know, the lull and patch content. Like, that definitely doesn't help in that specific point. Well, there you go. It's good to have you. Reduce grind and old junk. I mean, but I don't think, like, the grind for Eureka is not bad. The grind for Heaven's Words is easy as hell. Baja is really not that bad because you can passively work on so many steps. The only step that's kind of bad is doing the ones that you have to do one time that you have to do in Baja, but like those still aren't that bad. I guess Time Worn is kind of a pain in the ass, especially with Deliberum runs getting harder to do, but you can always do Palace of the Dead. I guess what I wish is that Time Worn artifacts were just all deep dungeons. That would be really nice, like if they retroactively did that. They made Heaven's Word so much better. It used to be 18 tones for one weapon. Yeah, Heaven's Word is so much. The one I find annoying, the only one I find annoying is A Realm Reborn. A Realm Reborn is the one that I don't want to say it's like bad, because I think the reasons that I don't like it are the exact reasons someone may like it. I hate books. I cannot stand the book step. It is just because, like, what I enjoy about relics is like working on the relic and like doing not just something else, but kill 3 mobs in this general area. Okay, go teleport. Kill 3 mobs. Okay, go and sync and do this one specific dungeon. Like it's like this like stopping and starting herky jerky part for the books that I just don't like. If I could take all the books at the same time and then go like do them all at the same time, maybe even that would be better. If fates were more scheduled, I'd be fine with books, to be honest. Honestly, the fates aren't even the one that I get annoyed at. But yeah, or doing them all at once. Yeah, if I could just have all the books. If it was one big book, I wouldn't mind books nearly as much. If it was just like one book that's like you have to do all these things, I'd be much more down for it. AR relic quests were all over the place. They tried so many different ideas. Yeah, they really did. I tell you, didn't we one time sit down and farm the Atma a little bit together? Yeah, my Republic relics are at their best when they get people to branch out to stuff they don't usually do. Doing dungeons you've already done 1,000 times as varies. Yeah, I guess I agree. I will say, yeah, I wouldn't say it promotes different stuff, right? But it did, for me, make me more incentivized to get better at and go do content that I've already completed. So, like, as an example, EX, which EX is a bad example because I would have farmed the mountains anyways, but just as, like, let's say an old EX was applicable, right? Learning to do an old EX or an old Savage or something would have been, you know, one way that would have been, like, the nice, because of, once I complete it, if I don't need a glam or something, I'm kind of, like, just done with it. Y'all need horny bonks? Real bad. What? After hours?
I
What?
said after hours
What
stream,
do you do?
and they're like, I'll make it anyway.
We're like 30 minutes. It's after minutes stream. But yeah, speaking of, let's go ahead and, oh god, Jade's starting to take off clothes. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. Thanks all so much for joining. Don't forget that Monday we have the MSQ stream. We're gonna be finishing Shadowbringers on Monday. So definitely come check out. It's going to be a big grand finale of Shadowbringers, and then we're into patch content. Though we might be pausing to either do Eden or, probably not Nier right away, but we'll probably do Eden first. And then when we get back to the source at a certain point, we'll be doing weapons questline. And then I don't know how we're gonna do Baja. I might like do Baja off stream and level enough that I can just do all the quests with you. No, because I won't be able to get in without doing some of the quests. Maybe I'll just like make a synopsis video and we'll watch that together. I don't know. Well, I'll figure it out because Baja is important before going into Endwalker in terms of it is the Eastern Front, right? If you think about Wurlet is the Western Front, Baja is the Eastern Front. Surprise curveball with some of the items you need for crafters are decent. Yeah. So you haven't been working on them. Well, whoops. Prepare to pay a boatload of monies. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Have a lovely evening, all. I'll see you guys. If you haven't checked out our 7-point video that went live last Wednesday, you definitely should. It's a doozy, and it seemed to be doing quite well right now. But yeah, cheers, everybody.